Hey guys, Todd from Juno Bait here today with Dylan from GT Ice Cream. The GT Ice Cream has become one of our best-selling surf lures over the course of the last couple months. Trey, my shop manager, had been fishing with some guys that were using it and said, hey, we need to get these in the shop. And so I Googled it and it came up, and it turns out that you're actually just down the road from us, not that far.
Right, that's right.
And, you know, we emailed and talked a little bit, got them in, and instantly, huge success. I mean, selling like crazy. So I said, hey, we need to get Dylan in and let's talk about these lures. Super cool lure. Maybe you could give us just a little backstory, because we were talking just a few minutes ago, and very neat backstory on how it kind of came to be.
Yeah, Todd, and we're very happy that you guys actually found us, because we've been trying to get into the South Florida market. It's having been here for 20 odd years, it's a big live bait fishery in South Florida. So we're happy to have a surf casting place like you guys that actually stock surf casting gear, which suit us perfectly. But really the lure is a very old lure. It used to be called a plug, basically, back in the day, and it used to be made out of a broomstick, wooden broomstick, and then the owner, Barry Wareham, who actually changed it and modified it and perfected it and got into the plastics, and the modern plastics actually designed it and it gave it the profile that it is today to swim and cast. Excellent lure, because it throws so far, like you guys know. That's why it's very successful for the surf guys. And was suited for the GTs, the jack species we have in South Africa, including the garrick, which is a very popular fish, and we do get big bluefish down there as well. So they suited and catch those fish very, very well. So,
and it's become, like you said, a great casting lure. And there's is it four different models?
Yeah,
4 different shapes,
4 profiles. Yeah,
and all 4 fantastic casting lures. And let's run through just, a few of them, and maybe a little bit about the conditions that you would kind of use them in when you're surf fishing.
Absolutely, and that's a common question we get all the time. So we'll start with the cone, which was the original profile. And the cone model is a chisel nose. These lures are actually bottom weighted. You can actually see the weights on them, so they'll actually swim the right way up.
And that also, with the weight back there, is what gives it that bullet of a
so
cast.
Like most top waters, there's a ball bearing in it to do that. This is actually built in, so the hook will actually come out, tuck next to it, and actually fly like a bullet into.
And it does. I mean, it just shoots. I mean, it'll fly. You can really throw them.
So this cone model excels in rougher conditions. So if you've got a lot of white water, which the bluefish actually love doing, choppy conditions, it actually swims like this. It will wobble side to side. And swim it, so it does a little bit of a spray from the front, and it pitter-patter sort of motion. Okay, so this can be fished a lot slower than the other ones.
Right.
So it'll be in the strike zone a lot longer for rougher conditions.
And now with this, and kind of with all of them, but with that, and you describe the action.
Yeah.
That's actually not so much imparted by the rod. I mean, just the actual reeling. You don't have to, like some lures, especially lures that you try and keep on top, that are heavy cast, you got to reel real fast to get them up on top.
Exactly.
And these, that's very impressive about it, is they throw and you reel at a moderate, and it's just up there doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the action's fantastic.
That's true.
There's actually, I was watching some videos, I don't know if it was on YouTube or where it was, and you see some of the video of it coming through the water. And it's great.
It's got its own action.
Yeah, I mean, without any effort at all.
And that's a good point, Todd. They are sinking lures, guys. They're heavy. They're not going to float like a traditional hollow body top water. So it'll go down, but like Todd says, if you guys crank it, it's going to jump up and get up on plane, if you will, and swim.
With little effort. I mean, you don't need to just, some lures, we have some top waters, like we do some pop and plugs that we weight, and Trey makes them, and they cast good, and we've figured out a few things with them. But you got to kind of really get them going get them and keep them on the surface. And the nice thing about this is you don't. The effort, is minimal to keep it up on top.
And you don't have to work the rod like you're saying, like you would with a Zara spook type of lure. So literally, just keep the rod tip straight up is our suggestion, and just crank. This one, like I mentioned, a little bit slower. We move on to the needle nose, which is another also injection molder, so it comes in numerous colors. The needle nose is our most popular because it's very versatile, can be fished in most conditions. The cool thing about it is that same thing throws a long way, mimics many of our bait fish. And this one's got it's got a slapping sound when it goes across the water, but it'll actually jump. So this is like a medium sort of up to a fast retrieve, and it'll actually skip and jump out of the water. So it mimics a bait fish getting chased.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a needlefish.
Exactly.
I mean,
Or
and I
baggy,
think,
yeah.
and it's not one of the more popular species, but I can't imagine that the snook in the summertime, you know, especially in a smaller size, will
Yeah.
jump all over when they're fired up. You
I've
know?
actually down in Flamingo, I've caught quite a few snook on them
Have you?
when they're
Yeah.
fired up.
Yeah.
So it will work with snook on those conditions. And then we move on to the skinny. The skinny at the moment is only handmade, so out of industrial plastic. We are working on the injection molded, but with a thinness of the profile, it's tough to do. So this is a high cranking speed lure.
Mm-hmm.
So you can crank it at as fast as you can, and it'll just shoot straight through the water. Very, very nice action. Same thing, imitates ballyhoo, little garfish or needle nose very, very well, and travels a long distance. This is actually the fastest or the furthest throwing lure that we have.
Right.
And you know, it goes up to 5 ounces for the big model. So like I said, calm conditions, real slick calm, and just high speed crank. As fast as you can, it's just going to skip on top of the water, and they'll
Right,
hunt
and it
down.
doesn't make as much noise. A little subtler, even though it's moving quick.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So for us in South Florida, with a little guy, you know, you want to be throwing this. If you're throwing this from the shore, you're going to target, you know, your Spanish Max will love this thing, your Blues, your Jacks, the odd Bonito as well. You'll get them from the surf. Yeah. And then the last profile is the flat face, aptly named because you can see it's sort of like the needle nose, but sort of. It does have a wider profile, so it will hold water a little bit better. Also got a good slapping action. The nose actually digs in, which is unique about this lure. So if you're throwing and you've got a strong, say, a southeast wind coming, you know, almost into your face, and your line typically bows.
Right.
So most guys who know you're throwing in 20-mile-an-hour winds or higher, that line, the braid will actually sail. Your lure will actually pick up out of the water, a regular top water. All right, it'll actually skip and go sideways. So what this one will actually do is hold its nose. You'll still have the bow, but the nose will be holding into the water a lot better.
Right.
So you're in the strike zone again a lot better. You can carry on and crank it. Same like a needle nose, like a medium to a fast sort of crank. A lot of spray coming out of the front, so you're going to see a lot of spray out the front of it. And also, they're slapping. Same thing as the skinny, also made from industrial plastic, handmade. These are handmade, so we all are looking at the possibility of injection molded in the future as well.
Very nice.
Unbreakable. You can't
Yeah.
actually break it. So
Yeah.
you're fishing on some rocks and stuff, you're not going to break this. Especially for the guys in Hawaii, they love this lure.
All great choices. In the shop at Juno Bait, you know, we have a good selection of the needle nose,
Yeah.
a few sizes of the cone. I have put some of the skinnies in, as well as, I think in the last order we got a flat face or
Couple,
two.
yeah, yeah.
So we've got a few, and I plan to add more of them.
Okay.
I don't currently have an online store. That's in the process. We're building that now, and it's going to be one of the first lures that we get up there
Oh,
for
fantastic.
people that are, you know, outside of our Juno Beach, Jupiter area.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if they did need to get them and they're not in our area before our store goes up, where else? Do you have anybody online that you'd recommend?
Yeah. We sell them online at gticecream.com, and we also have an Amazon account. So if you Google or look it up on Amazon GT Ice Cream, they'll pop right up.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Dylan.
Todd. Appreciate it.